Well, welcome back to the channel Mispronounced Adventures, and this is a bit of a smart home on wheels related video. Lots of people know that I like my smart home gadgets. I've got my Philips Hue which control stuff, I've got the Alexa up there, I can view the van statistics remotely and so on. And this is a result of the little SwitchBot video I made a few weeks ago. So the Monday morning after that video came out, I had an email from SwitchBot. That video wasn't a collaboration, it wasn't a sponsored video, I just bought the product because I think it would solve the issue I wanted, which was locking the doors from the bed with the switch. And not only did they just notice I made a video about their product, they actually had watched it because they emailed me and mentioned a few little comments or feedback on some of the things I said in the video, and which is kind of great. And they went, would you like some of these? And I was like, yes, I do like stuff. So they have sent me a few little things to play around with. So I've been sent the SwitchBot 2K pan and tilt camera. Whilst I have the Neo smart cams in the van, and I've done videos on them, I think they're really good. I have of recent noticed that they're no longer available or listed on Amazon, and you don't seem to be able to get them anymore. So it will be fun playing with a different style of camera. And this is tilt and pan, so that could be quite a lot of fun. They have sent me a thermometer and hygro. They sent me their temperature control monitor, and whilst I do already have plenty of temperature related stuff in the van, not going to say more data, I love data. And the one I'm particularly excited about is they sent me the Mini Hub. So not only does the hub, while some of these units can all work individually, they can also work collectively if you have the hub, which effectively builds the ecosystem. I've got the Mini Hub, which means I can then use all of the other bits of equipment with, say in my van, the Alexa. I can also access remotely, but the thing I'm particularly interested with is the IR feature. So apparently their little hub can learn IR signals, and you can use the hub to activate things which work with infrared. So let's have a play with that. Everyone knows unboxing videos are the pinnacle of internet reviews, so let's not do that, and let's do an overused click transition. Now, how do you do these click transitions? Got them. Right, so we have the hub, which is really quite light and mini USB powered. We've got the wall temperature thing on my jog, which is battery powered, and we've got the 2 kilowatt camera. I actually thought that this looked really massive on here, but actually it's quite small, so that's quite good. I think first I'm going to play with this because I want to get the hub up and running and see how that goes. So the SwitchBot Hub's got many features. It is the ecosystem which links together all the different devices, but the main reason I wanted the hub was it's got an IR controller, or it can learn IR signals, and one of the things that a lot of vans have, which is IR controlled, is a Maxxfan. And they're pretty dumb items. Most people I find interact with them by mounting the IR controller on the wall, or maybe press the buttons. However, you can't access it from outside the van. If I can teach the Mini Hub all the controls of that controller, then I will be able to turn the Maxxfan on and off remotely from my phone. Maybe I was away from the vehicle and I left it on, I wanted to turn it on, or I'll be able to ask my Alexa, or you can ask a Google Nest or other voice assistants to turn the unit on, if you're going to be really lazy like me. Just like the rest of the equipment, the SwitchBot app is pretty simple to download, and I've found it just works. It just finds the equipment first time and it's easy to add. So we've got the SwitchBot added to the hub. It's just plugged in by USB and I'll be mounting it up here. So let's go to the hub, add remote control, and I guess we want to remote control a fan. Start learning. So this is the remote control for my Maxxfan. Start learning. So it's taken a little bit of effort to get the fiddly bit right, but I've started to get this system working, so I can control the Maxxfan up there with the hub. So let's just add a few more commands, I think, first. So I added on and off with the controller, and let's go learn up. Oh, there we go. Learn again. I'm going to go for up. There we go. So we learn increase fan speed. Tap the test. You heard a little click there. I'm going to go save. Button name is going to be fan speed up. Speed up. This bit's going to take a while. So pretty much all I'm going to do is point the remote at the box and press the buttons for all the commands I want. which is all my pretty normal ones: up, down, on, off, power up, power down, air in, air out. That's about it really. Something to point out on here, the on off commands, whilst it is a single button and toggles, are actually different IR signals. So when you press it once, it will do the on IR signal, and when you press it again, it will do the off IR signal. So you can teach the Mini Hub the different commands for on and different commands for off. It's not a toggle button, which means if you don't know the status of the Maxxfan, you could always press off and it will always turn off. It's not going to toggle on and off. And that works the same for the hood up and down, and the reverse. Air in and air out are separate IR signals, but they are controlled by one button on here. Right, what other fun and unnecessary things can I do? So, I believe I can now add Alexa to control the Maxxfan. Oh, I need to connect to my... And it's done. Time to test. So Alexa responds to what you've called the object in the SwitchBot app. So I've called it Maxxfan, which is why Alexa responds to Maxxfan, but you could call it vent or fan or anything else you want, really. Alexa, turn off the Maxxfan.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on the Maxxfan.
Okay.
So now that the Maxxfan is in the SwitchBot ecosystem, you can have it. You don't have to just have it controlled by voice from the Alexa or the phone app. You could also add the SwitchBot remote control if you wanted. I use that for locking my doors. It also gives you access to make automations as well. So if you wanted to automate things, you could. We're going to look at the SwitchBot pan and tilt camera later on, and with automation, you could set it so if that had detected movement, it turned the fan on. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but that's the sort of things you could do with your home automation if you wanted. Or with the SwitchBot thermometer I'm adding, then you could use temperature information to turn the fan on or off if you wanted as well. Not that you probably would, the Maxxfan's already got a temperature thermostat built into it. But you could do your home automation. Well, I think that's pretty cool that it works. I think my main use case will probably be I could lie in bed and tell it to turn on and off by the Amazon Alexa. I'm probably not going to use the remote app itself that much. However, I might want to turn it off or turn it on if I did leave the vehicle when it was getting too hot inside. If you want one of those mini hubs, you can either go on the SwitchBot website and use my discount code, or if you go on the Amazon link as well, you'll be able to buy it from Amazon and I get a little bit of commission on it. I think it's a great way to turn this dumb item smart. What other IR related things do people usually have in their vans which they could smartify with the hub? So next thing to look at is the temperature sensor and humidity sensor, and because it takes batteries, they've also made it magnetic opposed to just sticking it up. So let's pull the battery doodad out. It's comfortable. This might not be accurate because I only just turned it on. Take that off. There we go, nice big display. Let's add it into here. Devices, Meterplus, touch button. Next, connecting to device. Let's call it Yeti Meterplus. Done. Next, done. All devices. Well, that's done. Let's turn it off. Fahrenheit, because I have no idea what Fahrenheit is. Well, a frequently asked question is how do I change it to centigrade? I don't understand what a Fahrenheit is. It was on centigrade earlier. Maybe it's in profile. Oh, never mind. Oh, I've not the screen as well. You just click the button at the back. Right, let's figure out where I'm going to put it in the van. So, last but not least is the camera I'm going to play with, which is a tilt and pan 2K camera. It says it's got 2K footage, motion detection, two-way audio, localized storage and cloud storage, voice control, and EcoBot ecosystem, so it all works with the other bits and bobs. And it shows that if you've got the hub, you can program it to do things potentially like if the camera detects movement, it closes curtains and locks the doors. A bit like that. And then it also on the other side you have live view, nighttime view, motion tracking, so it can potentially track a target, privacy mode, panel tilt, or waypoint patrols. So it does come with a nice little sticker to help you get your screw holes lined up when you put the base clip in. So it's installed up there at the minute, just next to the Neos. I will eventually move it or remove the Neos, but because it's pan tilt, it means you can go get the left hand side door and the right hand side door, which normally the camera can't do. So I've mounted the SwitchBot camera, and I'll pretty much go on about the features which are kind of relevant for van life, and you can be able to find a lot of other reviews out there which go in depth into everything. So the major one which you want for a van is the motion detection mode, or the armed mode, and the night vision mode. So night vision can turn on automatically, or you can turn it on yourself. I've got it set to the auto features. Whilst they look really bright and pink on the phone, they are actually just slightly brighter than normal red IR. It's just how this camera picks up the infrared light. And you can turn it on to motion detection, both for objects and motion detection for humans as well, and change the sensitivity a little bit in settings. And when something triggers it, you get a notification. However, I do think there's a little bit of a usability issue with how the app works in regards to motion detection. At the minute, if you get a motion detection message, it pops up on your phone, which is great, but then you click on it and all that shows you is that you've got a detection of motion. You can't access the video, or a photograph. You've got to click back into the menu, and then in the menu you'll be able to see the event, but it's not a video, it's just a photograph. So then to actually view what happened, or what was the motion, you've then got to go into the end tab for playback, and then if you've got an SD card built in, you can then click on the SD card, and then if you've got it set to only record events, you can then scroll through your events. Doesn't seem to be a way to actually tell which event triggered it unless you look at the timestamp, and then you can play the video of what caused the event, and that is a little bit annoying, to be honest. I don't know why at the moment it's not. If you get the notification on your phone of what that event was, you click it and it brings you up to the video. Maybe that'll be a software upgrade in the future. Here is an example of some daytime footage. Here's some example of some nighttime footage with a bit of motion tracking as well. One of the other slight issues I do have with the motion tracking, and if you have target tracking on as well, is the camera remains in the position it lost the track, which, as you can see from a few of my examples, if it loses it at the left hand door, it ends up looking at the door. It would be great if there was a feature that it could return to a set position, because there is preset positions, but you can't use that to resort back to. Those only seem to work with automation if you've got more things in the ecosystem, which I don't. So it is a little bit of a shame that you can't have the motion tracking resort back to the position, a set position, or the position it was before it started tracking the target. That's a bit of a shame. And there seems to be no cruise control option on this unit where you could have it pan to preset positions every X amount of time. Quite a few other features available. You can have a privacy mode, which will physically turn the lens away and rolls it into the unit, so you do have privacy, opposed to it just being off, if anyone's concerned about that. And if you roll it the other way, that's where you insert the SD card for your localized storage. There is also a subscription feature, which at the minute I've not used, but you can subscribe as well, and you can have that information backed up online and you can access it from anywhere. Another great option is if you have multiple cameras, you can have them all feed it in one particular screen. You can also manually pan around and move the camera as well when you're logging into it remotely. And that is pretty much going to end this video here. Super happy with smartifying the Maxxfan using Alexa. I think that's something I really want to do, and I think a few more people might like it as well. So if you do want to buy the Mini Hub, you can check out my links in the description, which will be Amazon or an affiliate link on the website. Both of them help out the channel. The camera, I'm happy with the unit itself. I think the app could potentially be updated in the future to have make it a little bit more user-friendly for motion detection. And then to add to the ecosystem as well, the temperature thermometer is a great way to check your information as well. So any of those things or any of the other bits and bobs you want to have a look at, feel free to check out the channel. Feel free to, if you want to see what I use as SwitchBot, which they're famous for originally, check out my video of how I showed that locking the doors. And if you want any of those SwitchBot products, feel free to use my Amazon links or my SwitchBot affiliate links, and I get a little kickback on that, which is greatly appreciated. Hope you've enjoyed this, and if you are going to get a Mini Hub, what other things would you potentially control in the van with the IR? Because I'd love to know. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.